we have two things that happen, and then where one is we had a huge opportunity to go to Chicago this next week, or I guess we leave Friday, and we go to Endowment Research Group, so ERG. They're one of the largest funds in the world, and they listen to over 1,000 cryptocurrencies present, and they said to Mindy and I, hey, out of all of them here, we want you guys to come to Chicago, come to a Sox game, and we have box seats, and we want you to present to 35 other investors. And we believe we can help you raise the next couple of tranches, if not the full tranche. So that is incredible. Well, keep in mind, we're trying to raise $60 million. So, or if we raise $50 million, then that means $300,000 will be coming in every month for all of you for the team, for the shareholders, for TLC. So unlike, right now, like banks, the way it works is that, we all trust our banks. We put money in the banks, and what does the banks do with that? They loan that money out, and they take all the interest and all the stuff and the fees and everything, and we don't get nothing. What do we get nowadays on a savings account, like 0.0? Yeah, I mean nothing, right? But the banks are making all that interest. So our goal is if we hit 50 million, we know that's $300,000 every month that comes in. Well, that was at 4%. Now interest rates are rising, so let's say we refinance some people at 5%. Well, now that's like a $380,000 that comes in every single month. That we take that money as a team. It's true peer-to-peer lending. We take that money and we reinvest it. So it's a true glorified REIT, so real estate investment trust. Which, have anybody been part of that before? So the problems with REITs that I don't like is the transparency's not there. Like there's always all these management fees and all these things, and I don't ever get what I thought I was gonna receive. But with blockchain, you can't fake it. You can't, because it'd be like if you invested and you put in tokens, you're going to expect to get those tokens. If you put in money, you're going to be like, hey, where's my tokens? So we can't fake anything, including the properties we refinance. We take that those properties, we give them a unique identifier, is my understanding, and we have some technical data, and we put that on the blockchain. And so everybody can see all the properties that we're refinancing. And so one great thing that we're going to be doing right away is we are refinancing our first project by the end of June. So that means your money is going to go to work. And so we start seeing capital coming in. So amazing stuff. It's not very often where you see an investment goes in, especially when we talk to all these other cryptocurrencies out there. The majority of those cryptocurrencies are saying, hey, give me money, I'm raising capital, and I'm gonna develop this concept. We didn't do that. We developed the concept first, and we're not taking anybody's money to develop the concept. Our concept is complete and ready to go. And so next month, when we refinance that building, we will all be seeing that transaction coming and using TLC tokens to benefit everybody on our team. So, and all of our shareholders. And so, with that said, we have some other announcements. So as Mindy and I have been super busy and building the business and making sales, we as a team have elected a new CEO to come in and help to grow the business and to help us as a business so we can continue to travel but we need someone here to be promoting and helping TLC. So with that, we have elected Sam Warren to be the face of our company. Plus, he's way better looking than me, and probably could easily beat me in an arm wrestling match. But he has an MBA, so he looks great on paper, and he has run a successful telecommunication company. So with that, I want to introduce Sam Warren.
Woo! A little bit about me. So I don't like to talk about myself too much, but I'll give you some cliff notes, if you will. So. Like Phil mentioned, I do have formal education, but through more than the education, through the formal process, I ran a telecommunications company. I was the CEO of an organization for 8 years, and prior to that, I was also part of another company for 11 years. So with that experience, I learned a great deal. Clearly through business school, they taught us that, hey, finance is critical. We have to be financially sound. Great financial statements, ratios have to be there. But more than that, the one thing I learned as a CEO of an organization is it's all about relationships. So there's a gentleman that I follow, his name's Simon Sinek. So Simon has a great quote. That quote states that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so for us as a team, I look out to our investors, this whole crew, and what excites me the most is we get to positively impact the lives that we get to touch. So there's no question, our project has legs, like Phil mentioned. We have a sound team, but our goal is to make a positive impact on every single person that we get to touch. So that's one of the things that I get really, really excited about. So with TLC, we now have a formula to reduce the time, to reduce the interest rate. So now those who want to refinance with us can put that money back, plow it back into their company to put that money to work. So I am super, super pumped about that. And more than that, so I got the opportunity here recently. 2 months ago, I met a gentleman, he's actually here, name's Rick Smith. And Phil alluded to Rick and talked to Rick a little bit. But Rick and I met, and we've got a common thread in that we both love Jesus and we love to fly fish. Right? So Rick and I went fly fishing, and we got to know each other. We built this very, very solid relationship. I look to Rick as not just a dear friend, but almost a brother. Seriously, in 2 months, it's been amazing. So but through that process, Rick looked at me across the table and said, Sam, you know what? I'm going to invest because I believe in you, I believe in your team, and I believe in your project. And so I was taken aback with that comment. I'm like, whoa, that is profound. It's a big, big thing. But that's also something that gets me more excited than anything, that we have a huge responsibility to you, our investors, our friends. So that I'm super excited about this opportunity. I'm excited about the relationship that we get to create along the way. It's not just about finances. Yes, we're going to create solid ROI, but the relationships are the key component to our success. We would not be here if we hadn't have created these relationships. So thank you guys. I really appreciate that. And I'm going to leave you with one last quote. There's a great quote by Zig Ziglar, and I'm sure some of you may have heard it. Zig states that you can have everything in life that you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want.
Sounds good.
So that's our goal. Rick, I don't want to let you down, man. So our goal is to help you guys get a solid ROI. You guys put your hard sweat, blood, and tears, resources into us, and we're going to do everything within our power to ensure you guys get a solid ROI. So I'm excited about the relationships we created and about the direction we're going in. So thank you guys. Thank you for the belief that you have in us as a team, and us in our project, and where we're going. So you guys obviously put a lot of faith and trust in us. So I appreciate that. Next thing I want to introduce Paul Burton. Paul is a pillar of our company. He's running the technology side of our organization. And
less rehearsed and a little more technical. But I want you to know up front that we've approached this project with a great deal of sobriety. And what we've undertaken on the blockchain, which is in the public space, we want to be very secure and protected for you. And so what I've prepared is a little technical on some points, and then a little about what we've done in order to kind of keep things moving the way we want them to go, and to keep things secure with the people that we don't want in it. So to begin with, the LendingCoin platform is an unchangeable ledger. Bill referred to it as immutable. That means that we can't go in on the back end and modify anything. What is there is there. And if there's ever a change to it, you will see it. It'll flag it and kick it back. So it'll just be rejected out of hand, which allows for full transparency, which is something that we don't currently enjoy with the system that we're involved in now. There's no fine print, and it grants us the ability to accept payments for loans on the blockchain, which is what the entire thrust of this has been about. We want to move things to the blockchain because it changes the way we do business, and it does create liquidity, like Phil had referred to, within that system, as it fractionalizes things out. At the LendingCoin, we launched the blockchain in early 2018. as soon as we were done with our testing on it. So we ran it through a series of tests to see what sort of vulnerabilities may be out there, or what sort of, to make sure it actually performed and functioned as we intended it to do so. It's designed with security in mind, using best practices for each variable of the contract. As you go through these contracts in blockchain, you address a great deal of things as we work through that process. And every one of those variables that we created in the contract has been addressed and tested very thoroughly, and best practices have been employed as we deployed them. Our tech's been routinely and repeatedly audited, and all our functions scrutinized and tested thoroughly. TLC tokens will be the only way to satisfy loan payments. And the token transfers can be made from any compatible wallet. So you could make it from your phone if you're somewhere else and you need to make a payment. You don't have to track down a bank, and you don't have to mail a check. You can go to your phone and click send. We provide ways to convert US dollars to TLC security tokens, and when the price of the TLC tokens fluctuate, the calculations will automatically be made to ensure that the TLC loan payments are calculated accurately based on the US dollars that are owed on those loans. So that basically, in a nutshell, is saying you'll pay a US dollar value in TLC tokens. But the reason we do the TLC tokens is so that you can view that transaction on the blockchain and have an accurate accounting of what you've done. TLC's development features include a personal ID and debt ledger with our scaling price algorithm, which converts the fiat currency into TLC token value at the time of payment. So if TLC token prices fluctuate or scale, move up or down, the calculation will be done at the time the payment is made.